Hello and welcome back to your daily basketball recap. My name is Levi Jacob. Um, I'm here to just recap a couple of things, go over a couple news media items that I thought was fun. It is currently 12:43 where I am, so just so you know, I'm working to bring you this daily recap here. Um, Free agent Chris Boucher, according to Shams Charania, has agreed to a deal with the Boston Celtics, 1 year, 3.3 million. Honestly, I love it. I think it's a great move. Chris Boucher has had bright spots throughout his career, and I think is actually a really could be a good player on a good team. Not that the Celtics will necessarily be so good this year, but I mean, you never know what Joe Mazzulla has up his sleeve with a couple of pretty good veterans, including Jaylen Brown and Derek White as well. Um, he can give them something different at the center because they need to have something different at the center because they no longer have either of their centers. So yeah, it's going to be different this season for the Boston Celtics, no doubt. But I think it was a worthwhile chance to take on him, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's actually a great player. Another thing that Bleacher Report posted, I think also Wemby posted, um, Wemby getting at the very least advice from Kevin Garnett. What are we going to see next? What do you think? Tell us down below. Tell us down below. What is Wemby's next walk of life this offseason to further improve on his I don't even think it's his basketball skills anymore. It's just his who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just fun. Every single week, it's like a Where's Waldo of Wemby somewhere else doing something else, playing chess in a park. You know what I'm saying? Like next week, he's going to be leading you know a convention for the Forbes 30 under 30. Like you never know. You really never know. But I guess most oftentimes it seems more wholesome than that. So uh, going to a butterfly sanctuary and being smothered in monarchs. Who knows? But I love it. It's great NBA lore. It gives great memes. I love it. I love it. It's just great. It's one of those things this offseason that's been awesome. Over the past few days, switching to a different note, there's been a discussion about Chris Paul versus Damian Lillard over the course of their career. I thought about it a lot. I thought about it a lot. I think I'm Team Chris Paul. I think I've just seen him positively affect so many environments. Also, again, negatively affect so many environments. Don't get me wrong. Damian Lillard is a remarkable player. Don't ever take that away from him. I will never take that away from him. I think that Chris Paul, in general, has brought more teams closer to winning an NBA championship as a primary or 1B in the case of James Harden and Chris Paul in Houston. Um, to just further in playoff series, in different environments. The Damian Lillard experiment in Milwaukee was it was just a disaster through and through. It was a disaster where there was unfilled potential, and I don't even want to blame Damian Lillard. It was just we didn't see it fulfilled. Whereas I feel like with Chris Paul, we saw the most basketball-oriented version of him in most situations. Um, but it's literally by a hair in my book. I think that they're both really extraordinary players. Probably, I would say top 15 of all time point guards for me. I haven't sat down to go through that list. Maybe I will, but honestly, I don't think it's that crazy. I think everybody would probably agree with that. Honestly, Damian Lillard, however, the one difference that I would say is a generational scorer, miles better than Chris Paul. Again, in my book, in my opinion, from what I've seen, not basketball specialist by any means, but that's Damian Lillard's 70 points in a game kind of thing. Like he's incredible. Chris Paul just affects the game in so many different ways for me, defense included in that as well as the offense. and the playmaking. I love a passing point guard. It's so hard to make an argument against it for me. And Lob City, like, was so crazy, especially the end of Lob City. And then Chris Paul so adapted his game. He went vegan while he was with the Rockets. He came to OKC for a year. He rejuvenated his career again when he went to Phoenix. Then he went to the Warriors. It didn't work out. Then he went to the Spurs and he got early Wemby. Like, I don't know. For some reason, maybe it's even just more of like a happy basketball career in a weird way because he even started in New Orleans and there was the homecoming with OKC, kind of. I don't know, but I think it's Chris Paul. But again, I think it's really by a hair. I think they're both remarkable players. I don't always like this X versus Y, because I say it often enough on this channel. But I say that I just want to like be able to watch good basketball, and they both have provided a lot of good basketball over the years. So either way that you fall in this debate, I don't think it's wrong unless you choose Damian Lillard. Um, no, I'm just kidding. I think that both are very, very valid positions to have, but I think it's Chris Paul. The last point, uh, Kendrick Perkins on ESPN gave his current 5 greatest defensive players. Now, I'm sure that you already know how this could go wrong in many different ways. And in my opinion, it did. he's he's just a menace, Kendrick Perkins. He goes out there, he doesn't play around. He just throws out his opinions, really, really slings them out there. Number 1, he ranked Alex Caruso. Okay. His showing this offseason against Jokic, particularly, I was like so dumbfounded. I think he's a really, really phenomenal defensive player. Number 2, he had Evan Mobley. Not bad, former defensive player of the year. Um, was he defensive player of the year this year? I think he was. I think he was defensive player of the year this year. Wow, that's embarrassing. Um, Definitely a runner up last year, I want to say. And he's interesting young prospect. Amen Thompson is number 3. Boy, is this guy awesome at defense. He's watching him on offense is almost as exciting as watching him on defense. That's when you know a player is like really, really defensively something like a talent to behold. 4th was Victor Wembanyama. He had Vic 4th. Dort was number 5. I don't think that these are wrong picks. I don't think anybody on the list should. I don't think anybody's arguing that nobody should be on this list who is on the list. However, for these 5 to be the list in this order, I think is absolutely incorrect. I think that as a massive OKC fan, I just think that Lou Dort provides more overall than Alex Caruso does. So that was a weird thing to me. Like, you got to see his defensive prowess because Lou Dort was literally guarding the most defensive assignment every single game. So you got to see him again. Like, I mean, not that Jokic isn't, but Chet was playing the help defense for Caruso on Jokic, as well as Dort getting in there with really quick hands. Like, I think that Dort is the better defensive player. Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year. He's awesome at defense. That's not the wrong call. Being this high, at least on the list. I think the crime is Wemby. Wemby should have won 1 easily. Easily. Like, he was going to be favorite for defensive player of the year. So it's just weird. It's a weird arrangement. And Amen, because he's so versatile, he should be on this list for sure. I think Lou right now is a better defender than he is. I think in the future, obviously, I think Amen is going to be a better defender. Hopefully health permitting, all that stuff, and Wemby as well. But I think right now, Lou is a better defender than both those guys. I'm trying to think of other guys that were on the defensive teams. that didn't make it on this list. But I think I'm not angry at the list. You know what I'm saying? I'm not angry at the list at all. But Victor should have been one. That's just my my final thoughts on this matter. I hope everybody has a great day, and I want to thank you, Max, for producing. Shlomo, for just being stand up. I'm excited to do another pod with you very soon. Kicking it old school, you know. We're gonna have maybe a few new faces coming on, so keep an eye out for that. And go check out Max's roll call this week. It was with a very, very special guest. Great episode. I really, really recommend it to anybody who loves basketball. You should go watch it. That was your daily basketball recap in 15 minutes or less. And I hope you all have a great day.